fella stopped me on the street last night.
Tantum verde lajša bolečino in oteklino pri vnetju v ustni votlini in žrelu.
Pred uporabo natančno preberite navodilo. O tveganju in neželenih učinkih se posvetujte z zdravnikom ali s farmacevtom.
Onitek zdravilni lak za zdravljenje zmernih do blagih glivičnih okužb nohtov. Brez piljenja, brez odstranjevanja laka. Onitek. Resne težave imajo lahko tudi enostavno rešitev. Pred uporabo natančno preberite navodilo. O tveganju in neželenih učinkih se posvetujte z zdravnikom ali farmacevtom.
After 8 years of hard preparations, finally, our big day has arrived. Tomorrow is the opening of the European Capital of Culture that will be remembered as one of the biggest cultural events in Slovenia until this day. The two cities in two countries will join creative efforts under one title of European Capital of Culture for the first time in the history. On Slovenia's cultural holiday under the concept and direction of Novo Gorici, we will experience a day-long story about the trust. Is it better now? It is the story of how Slovenian town of Nova Gorica extended a hand across the border to the Italian town of Gorica, and the two of them joined forces to step onto the unknown territory of cultural cross-border collaboration. Despite the complex past, the two cities have come together to shape a better future, making it a success story. By developing a borderless identity along the way, the story of European success is starting to develop. And now for some interesting numbers. More than 2,000 performers from both sides of the border will take part, including 500 children. The opening event will span for 14 hours across 5 main venues in both cities, 2 in Slovenia, 2 in Italy, and 1 shared the square of the Euro Square. At the official ceremony at 4 p.m., high-ranking political guests will be in attendance, with the mayor providing more details later. We are expecting the highest number of guests at the artistic spectacle at 6 p.m., which will be further elaborated by our dear director. After the official part, the evening will be filled with borderless party and a lot of great music. Everything from DJ sets of Prinaša, Murphy, Andy Smith from Portishead, Daddy G from Mestoma, Remo and Solino. Meanwhile, the Tasters Without Borders will be featuring the world premiere of Nova Gorica's own gnocchi. But the opening program and its venues will showcase not only how culture connects, but also how it builds. The European Capital of Culture project has brought modernized infrastructure to both cities and a brand new free cultural zone close to the Euro Square. This has received high praise from the eco experts. When the European Commission calls you to comment your progress and awards you a Medina American prize, you know you have done at least something right. I I'm thrilled that the two cities are evolving. The locals are getting involved in large numbers. And I truly believe this energy will continue beyond the project's conclusion for the legacy period. Lastly, I would like to express my deepest gratitude to the local and international journalists who are helping to share our authentic story. We have been covered by The Guardian, BBC, Süddeutsche Zeitung, CNN, Figaro, Arte, ARD, and the Daily Mail. In the coming days, we will be sharing the borderless story with all of you. But since this opening ceremony and even our big move and the whole capital of culture wouldn't have been possible without one special person. Now I give the floor to the one and only Leda Lucian-Briz.
I'm not only the director of the show you will see today or all day concept, but for me this is really a special project because I was the head of the candidacy. I went through 4 years of preparation. I've been in many European countries since then, so I'm happy to see Matera. I'm happy to see you all there, and I'm especially happy because this night we will meet our EPK family, which means that the guests from all the European capitals of culture will join us finally in Nova Gorica and Gorica. So regarding the tomorrow events, we will have the all-day event. I will not go through everything because you can read it and so on, but maybe just for the feeling and why we did that. We wanted to connect both cities through the name from station to station because, as you know, Nova Gorica is a new city in terms of cities, of course, and Gorica is an old city, ancient city, more than 1,000 years old and so on. And once it had two stations, one south and one north, and after the border was put, they were split, and one remained in Italy and one remained in Yugoslavia at that time. And now, in front of the Nova Gorica train station, it is our brand new, renovated, let's say, see, I hear him because he knows what I will say. So I'm Italian. So yeah, Piazza Transalpina, Trgu Europa Square, which we are very proud because actually everybody who comes here, and we are small cities and we are not used to have so many people as we have now, tourists and people and who are really interested what we are having to offer. And the Europa Square is one really special thing because everybody wants to take a selfie or a picture with one hand in Slovenia and one in Italy. And that's why we are very proud that we renovated it and so on. And I think our mayor will tell more about the investments. But that's why we wanted to connect these two. And we start in the morning on one station and we will finish in the very evening or in the morning again, maybe with some music, as Mia said, on Europa Square. And meanwhile, we will pass through both cities with borderless or cross-border parade, where we invited the people from Nova Gorica, from Gorica, for everywhere they wanted to come, associations, NGOs, whoever wanted. And that means that we have a really a big quantity of people who will join. We will see tomorrow. We are a little bit also afraid because there are so many. But yeah, I hope there will be space for everybody. And they will go from the main square of Gorica to the main square of Nova Gorica and cross the border around 2 o'clock. And and come to Nova Gorica Square, where again 2 mayors will be on both squares and so on. 2 mayors are the hosts and they will speak for the guests and so on. And then, as you know, we will have this event on special, the square, Europa Square, for the more or less, of course, high politicians who will join us tomorrow. As you know, we will have both presidents of the states, we will have many other guests from European Union and so on. So the Europa Square is not so big for everybody who wants to come. So we will have also the direct broadcast in both main squares, so the people could see the broadcast in real time. And then, of course, we will have the special event at 6 o'clock in front of the municipality of Nova Gorica and National Theatre, and the buildings around there will be the scenography, actually. The scenography for everything that will happen there. And we choose the program as maybe in the beginning just a story about our 2 cities, maybe to explain not only to you who came to us, but also to our people, where we are, who we are, what is our history, so we can understand what is our story. And then we will continue with numbers of events, small events with artists and programs that you will have the opportunity to see in the program, official program, in this year. This is it, more or less. You spoke already about the borderless party, of course, after party, which will spread around 2 cities. And yes, welcome to join. You cannot see everything, I think, but we wanted to have a fil rouge in a way that maybe, if somebody wants, it also can follow from the morning to the evening and, of course, to the morning. So, welcome for the later with the questions if you want, but welcome more or less tomorrow to see everything. Thank you.
Tantum verde lajša bolečino in oteklino pri vnetju v ustni votlini in žrelu.
Pred uporabo natančno preberite navodilo. O tveganju in neželenih učinkih se posvetujte z zdravnikom ali s farmacevtom.
Onitek zdravilni lak za zdravljenje zmernih do blagih glivičnih okužb nohtov. Brez piljenja, brez odstranjevanja laka. Onitek. Resne težave imajo lahko tudi enostavno rešitev. Pred uporabo natančno preberite navodilo. O tveganju in neželenih učinkih se posvetujte z zdravnikom ali farmacevtom.
Buongiorno, good afternoon to all of you. As you see, we are very enthusiastic, not just Neda, but all of us, and eager to start tomorrow. Thank you, Mia, for this introduction. Yes, the municipality of Novo Gorico brought great attention and a lot of money to the investments that will remain also after 2025. We have, with the help of our state, renewed the whole area around the train station. Together with neighboring Gorica, we joined forces with the cohesion funds to rebuild our common Europe Square of Piazza Transalpina that was first built in 2004. We celebrated there the accession of Slovenia to the European Union, and then rejoiced again when Schengen fell and we joined the Schengen area when borders really didn't exist anymore. Neda mentioned the people that will take place in tomorrow's celebration. But let me stress another point. It was the people, our European capital of culture is more or less the fulfillment of a dream of generations who really struggled and fostered family ties and friendship across the border. And it's these people that started with all their efforts after the border split apart our region, started collaboration, coexistence, started having common projects. And our capital of culture, which is the first in 40 years of the history of European capitals of culture, is cross-border, is somehow the fulfillment of their dreams. We will do other investment in that area that in the past was somehow behind our backs for both cities, for the city of Nova Gorica and for the city of Gorica. We will open the so-called Super 8 at the beginning of March, which will be the venue of our culinary and enogastronomic offerings. Some of you may know what a nosnica means in these parts of the world. It's a remnant of the Austro-Hungarian Empire when the emperors gave 8 days to farmers to sell their produce without tax. So the Super 8, which is also, as you know, a format of film, will be a place, a space where people can sit together, enjoy wine, enjoy our extraordinary cuisine. Then we will, at the beginning of May, during the Days of Europe, or celebrating the Day of Europe, we will open the so-called EPK, the European platform for the interpretation of the 20th century. As you know, the past century has been very harsh for this region, and somehow the wounds that people on both sides, or the dark side that they have still now, will be brought forward and will be showcased there. So we will tell the story of the 20th century in this region through the words of common people from both sides of the border. We renewed last year the Park Rafut, which is on the other side of the Kostanjevica Monastery, which is also a National Heritage Site, awarded last year as an approach to the European Capital of Culture. And then we will continue far north with a green space, with a borderless area that will be developed and that will be given to the people, to arts and to culture, and will finally be the issue that brings together both cities. We also have a new outside auditorium just at the back of our National Theatre, so a lot of investment, a lot of new venues that will be the places for spectacles is being developed and will be finished during this year. Around 150 million euros were devoted to investments just in Nova Gorica. Rudy will then explain how much was on the other side of the border. Let me finish with this. The European Capital of Culture will be our moment, will be the place and the time when we can showcase the extraordinary things that we have to show in the fields of art and culture, while still in these uncertain times today, showcasing that coexistence and the collaboration is still alive and still possible. We are very proud of how much attention we are getting for this capital of culture and how many foreign guests are coming. Both presidents of the state, our Prime Minister, 13 European cultural ministers will attend tomorrow's ceremony, 2 European commissioners, and the Vice President of the European Parliament. So I think I'm not wrong if I say that the message that we are trying to convey is more alive and more important today than 8 years ago when we started our invention. I must congratulate the whole team. It was a lot of work for many people, but here we are now. We will start tomorrow, and please join us. We will have a wonderful borderless year. Thank you.
Alzo la voce, va bene? Ci pensa lui poi a tradurre. Grazie a voi per la vostra presenza. Consentitemi prima una battuta personale. tu ti immaginavi 8 anni fa, Neda, che ci saremmo trovati in queste circostanze? No, la risposta è no. È partita come una grande sfida, è partita come quando uno compra il biglietto della lotteria, lo compra sapendo di non vincerlo. Avevamo competitor eccezionali. Lubiana è una città, Gorica, Novo Gorico è bellissima, ma Lubiana è una capitale con grandissime espressioni. Però è quello che mi piace sottolineare, cioè che da sindaco è ovvio, da sindaco è ovvio che io penso alle ricadute, come Samo che avrà il territorio. Però a me piace innanzitutto ringraziare tutti coloro che prima di noi, i sindaci, gli amministratori, le associazioni, persone singole che quando era difficile parlare da di qua al di là del confine lo hanno fatto, ciascuno un po' alla volta, perciò non è un merito nostro, è un merito anche nostro, però noi siamo riusciti a proseguire in quel solco che altri illuminati e visionari amministratori prima di noi avevano cominciato a tracciare. Mi piace sottolineare quello che hanno sottolineato i nostri due capi dello Stato, Mattarella e l'allora Presidente della Repubblica, tutto questo? Bravo. L'allora Presidente della Repubblica Bodo, quando hanno individuato in Nova Gorica e Gorizia una testimonianza, ahimè, importante in Europa e nel mondo di come un confine che era una tragica, è stato testimone delle tragedie del secolo scorso, oggi invece è testimone di un germogliare di coesione e di relazioni, di collaborazioni internazionali.
Okay, so thank you very much. Of course, I would like to start with a personal note. Neda, 8 years ago, when you started with this idea, did you believe, did you see already that we would be sitting one day in this room in such a way? No, that's the truth. No, you didn't. Because it took great vision. It was a great challenge, I mean, a bet. It's like when you buy a lottery ticket and you know you will not win. You just buy it and you know, okay, I'm not winning this time either. Because we had great competitors back then. Great cities like Ljubljana. Ljubljana is a great capital, and in spite of our cities being so beautiful and nice, still we had to fight against them. And we won it. It was a surprise. But of course, as the mayor, as my colleague Mayor Samo here, apart from culture, I'm also thinking about the consequences, about the impacts that the European capital of culture will have on our land, because that's what we mayors do. And of course, before thanking everyone involved for the effort achieved, let us just remember all the people that came before us and made it possible, because of course we did our part of the job. But before us, there were lots of associations, organizations, mayors, individuals who were working in cross-border cooperation, and it was hard in times when that was hard to talk about, but they still did it. And they were the inspiration that drove us and gave us strength to go forward, believing in this idea. So it's not only our merit, it's their merit as well. We are just stepping on that path they have traced before us. And of course, as the two heads of state said, Italian President Mattarella and the then President of Slovenia, Pahor, when they visited the two cities on the same Transalpina Square, they have recognized these two cities, Novo Gorico and Gorica, as having the potential of being a testimonial of talking to Europe and to the world about how a border that used to divide and was born out of conflict could become a point of cooperation, collaboration, and even friendship.
Gorica e Nova Gorica sono collocate dalla geopolitica internazionale in luoghi isolati, emarginati rispetto alla propria nazione. Gorica rispetto al resto dell'Italia, Nova Gorica rispetto al resto della Slovenia. Questa straordinaria opportunità è un'opportunità non per fare una festa domani o tante feste nell'arco dell'anno, che ci saranno, il programma lo avete visto, è ricchissimo, a microfoni spenti, dico francamente, oggettivamente abbiamo visto tante feste in tutta Europa, diremo che oggi la nostra capitale europea è davvero ricca di di tutto da ogni punto di vista, perciò sono programmi che magari Mia o Stoia poi racconteranno. Ma è una straordinaria opportunità per consentire, non già nel 2025, ma dal 2026 in poi, a fare in modo che quest'area, tutte insieme, Nova Gorica e Gorizia, entrino in un network, in un circuito che consenta di ospitare sempre più persone, eventi, ma eventi anche sportivi, ricreativi, culturali, di ogni natura nell'ambito dell'arte per i prossimi 10 anni, 20 anni, 30 anni. Ecco perché noi aspiriamo a diventare un punto di riferimento e allora abbiamo approfittato di questo periodo certamente per attrarre risorse. 140 milioni circa sono gli euro, le risorse destinate sulla parte italiana, ma prevalentemente al 90% è ovvio per quanto riguarda gli investimenti. Gli investimenti significa, ve la faccio breve perché sono persone che non conoscono Gorizia, spazi verdi, un parco, un centro cittadino di 13 ettari che prima era un bosco impenetrabile, aiuole, giardini, il giardino Piatori, non del comune, che è un giardino botanico di una immensa bellezza e dimensioni, la salita quasi a cavallo del confine che da Gorizia arriva alla Castagnevizza, dove è sepolto nella cui cripta, nel convento, nella cui cripta sono sepolti i resti di Carlo X, ultimo re di Francia, con altri suoi parenti. Abbiamo grandi spazi che prima erano davvero non utilizzati, che saranno pronti in queste poche settimane, in prossimità del confine, Casa Rossa, che sarà luogo in cui ospiteremo già da maggio, cioè già da giugno e luglio, 3 grandi concerti per 10, 12, 15 mila spettatori, un grande spazio dove potrà ospitare oltre 50.000 spettatori. Occhio che vedo chi siete, vi inviteremo a questi grandi concerti. Ecco, ma al netto di tutto quello che stiamo facendo, infrastrutture per ospitare attività fieristiche, merceologiche, ma l'importante è far vedere come Nova Gorica e Gorizia per la prima volta crescono insieme. Per la prima volta, ad esempio, anche il piano regolatore, che in Italia è quella legge, diciamo, per gli stranieri, che prevede come far crescere una città, un vestito. Per la prima volta dalla storia delle due città abbiamo condiviso, cioè Gorizia comunica a Nova Gorica e viceversa, come intende investire sul proprio territorio con questa percezione, cioè non quello che è mio, quello che è tuo, ma finalmente dal tuo e mio siamo passati alla parola splendida che è il nostro.
So in Nova Gorici and Nova Gorica are thus becoming from the geopolitical point of view, an interesting point. And we would, because we were in the past actually on the margins. Gorizia is on the eastern edge of Italy, not interesting for the rest of Italy. Nova Gorica, likewise, has been abandoned by the rest of Slovenia and almost forgotten. And of course, this extraordinary opportunity is not only to become something more, but to really to develop together. Off the record, I would say that we will have a party, yes, tomorrow, and we will have many parties in the course of the year, but it's not only about the parties. And off the record, I can say we've seen a few inaugurations of European capitals of culture around Europe, but ours will be better, don't worry. It's much richer. In terms of culture, in terms of history, we have something to offer that very few can. And of course, this extraordinary opportunity will allow us to enhance the development even after 2025, starting from 2026 on. For example, the entire region could become a region hosting important events from around Europe or the world. Well, for many people, many events, for the next 10, 20, 30 years, we would like to become a point of reference. And that's why we have invested, we have received investments for 140 million euros for the Italian side. 90% of those, that money was spent in investment, so infrastructure. And very briefly, I will just point out a few of them, not to be too long. The greenery, the parks we have put in order. A shrub in the middle of the city with an impenetrable forest has been transformed into a city urban park, 13 hectares of it. Then we renovated also a beautiful botanical garden called Viatori at the outskirts of Gorica, and we saved it actually. Then we have a street, a traditional street, going from the edge of Gorica, almost on the border, all the way to the monastery, which is now in Slovenia, where the last French king, Charles X, is buried with his family. Then, of course, other base areas, for example, near the border, near the former border crossing of Casarossa, we are almost finishing. It's almost finished. There will be a large space for hosting concerts starting in June already with international stars. And then another, even larger area for concerts, the former airport, it's capable of hosting 50,000 people, while Casarossa will host around from 12 to 15,000 people. So a whole series of investments enabling the city to host, once again, large concerts, large events, trade shows. And the most important thing, of course, is to show that Nova Gorica and Gorica are growing together for the first time ever. We have in Italy what's called piano regolatore, which sometimes could be translated as an urbanization plan. It allows you to plan what will you develop in the city in the future. They have something similar in Slovenia. For the first time ever, the two cities sat together to plan their future together. Not I'm developing my land, you are developing your land. But let's sit together and let's see what your intentions are and what can we do together to develop the two cities. That is certainly a completely new thing.
Ultima battuta finale. Visto che vi vogliamo freschi e lucidi per oggi e per domani, preferisco non stordirvi e semmai rispondo alle domande che farete.